There are 3 different GoPro versions available for you to sign out from the library: the Hero 4, the Hero 5, and the Hero 8. Now, there are a number of differences between these models. First of all, the Hero 4 does not have any protection against the elements. So if you're putting it in water or dirt, it will require a protective housing. Both the 5 and the 8 have built-in casing to protect them. Secondly, the 8 has built-in folding fingers on the bottom of the camera, so it actually doesn't even require a housing unit in order to mount it. Third, the Hero 4 is the only one of these models that does not have a built-in display screen. So in order to actually see what you're recording, you will need to either connect this to an external monitor or sync it up with the mobile app. I'll have more on that later. Finally, there are slight variations in the buttons, panels, and connections. All of the cameras are located in the same spot on the front of the device. The microphone on the 4 is on the top beside the record button. The 5 has 2 microphones, one in the same place as the 4 and the other on the opposite side of the camera. And the 8 has 3 microphones, one on the front below the camera, another just to the side of that below the power button, and a third one underneath the folding fingers on the bottom. Now, as for the connections and buttons, on the 4, the battery pack is located in the bottom of the device. On the side closest to the camera, there is the micro HDMI port, the mini USB charging port, and the micro SD card slot. The power/mode button is on the front. The settings button is just to the side of that, and the shutter select or record button is on top. On the 5, the battery pack is also located inside of the bottom, along with the micro SD card slot. Inside of the panel on the side closest to the camera is the micro HDMI port and the USB-C charging port. The power/mode button is on the side opposite the camera, and the shutter or record button is on top. On the 8, there is a removable panel on the side opposite of the camera. Inside is the battery pack, the USB-C port, and the micro SD card slot. The power/mode button is on the side closest to the camera, and just like the other models, the shutter button is on top. Now that we know our way around the cameras, let's get them set up. To mount the 4, gently place the camera inside of the plastic housing. Fold the back panel up, slide the clamp back, and snap it shut. There are several mounts, but they all work the same way. You're going to attach the frame to a mounting buckle. You do this by aligning the fingers and then threading the thumb screw through it. If you need to tilt your camera, simply loosen the screw, adjust the shot, and then retighten it. Now, you can attach this buckle to several different mounting brackets that will be available to you, but I will just demonstrate on this tabletop one. Simply slide the buckle into the mount until it clicks into place. Now you mount the 5 in the same way. The only real difference being that the frame is not the full plastic housing like it is with the 4. Now, something that I'd like you to keep in mind with both the 4 and the 5 is make sure that you insert your micro SD card into the camera before you put the camera into the housing, because once you do, you can't access it. Now, with the 8, we actually don't need a case. You just fold the fingers out on the bottom. Now I'm going to demonstrate this using a chest mount harness. The reason being, if you are using a GoPro, you're probably not signing it out to set it on a table or a tripod to record. You're more than likely using it to demonstrate some sort of hands-on learning activity. Now, having said that, I'm not going to go through all of the features of the GoPro. That would probably take hours. Instead, I'm only going to show you how to use these the way that I recommend you use them. Regardless of which model you're using, I want you to download the GoPro mobile app and control the camera from your mobile device. There are two main reasons for this. First, it gives you the ability with the 4 and the flexibility with the 5 and the 8 to monitor your recording, and to do so on a device you're familiar with, and one that has a larger screen than the GoPro provides. Secondly, I don't want anyone fiddling around with tiny little micro SD cards and transferring files all over the place. If you use the app, you can save the footage right on your phone and then upload it directly to whatever platform you choose. The bottom line is, if you do it this way, you'll have a better recording experience and a more efficient uploading process. Okay, that's the end of that little 2-point sermon. After you have downloaded the GoPro app from the App Store, open up the application. Click on the camera icon in the bottom left corner. You will need to add the GoPro as a camera. Press the Power Mode button on the GoPro to turn it on. Click on Add a Camera. If the app does not automatically detect the camera, which will happen if the GoPro's Wi-Fi is turned off, select the model you are using from the menu that appears. It may still tell you to turn your camera on at this point. Select My Camera is On. It will then walk you through the steps for connecting the camera to the app. This may look slightly different depending on which model you're using, but don't worry, the application gives detailed instructions and images for setting up the connection. Once the app is synced with your camera, you now have full control of the GoPro from your mobile device. The GoPro will default to whichever mode it was last in. You will have the option to record a time-lapse, record a video, or take a photo. Now, if you've watched any of the other recording hardware videos, you've heard me talk about resolution. This camera has the capability of shooting 4K content, but this really isn't beneficial to you. The reason being, 4K video files are enormous, and you're going to run into all kinds of issues saving them and storing them. Secondly, unless someone is watching the video on a 4K monitor, they're not even going to see that minute detail anyway. Please shoot your videos at a maximum resolution of 1080p. We're going to open up the camera preferences to edit them. We will set the resolution to 1080 and the frames per second to 30. I also recommend that you change the field of view from wide to linear. This will just prevent the video from having a fisheye view of things. To start recording, press the ring icon in the middle below the video image. As you can see, the time code is rolling, so you know you are recording. When you are done, press the stop button. To access the video file, click on the gallery icon in the bottom left corner. Click on the video file and you will be able to preview it. Now this is very important. At this point, the video file is only stored on the micro SD card inside of the camera. To save it to your mobile device, you first need to store it within the app. Press the blue button with the up arrow and then select Download to App. Now the app may take some time to download the file depending on the size of it. Once it is done, it will say Download Complete. Click on View Media. It is now stored in the app, so when you click on the file now and press the blue up arrow, it gives you the option to save the video to your device. Click on that option, and when it is finished, it will say Media Saved. This is definitely not a comprehensive look at these units, but it should be enough to get you started. I really hope you found this series of videos informative. If you need further assistance with any of the equipment that I've discussed, please feel free to contact myself or any member of the audiovisual department. There should be separate tutorials for how to upload content to different platforms, different recording software you can use, tips for shooting high quality video, as well as my recommendations for what hardware and software to use in different situations. Good luck and take care.